Namaste, friends, and welcome. Welcome to your weekly check-in. I've had a couple of weeks of just things not going well technically and me either having bad recordings or no recordings, so I apologize for that. Trying to get back on track. So go ahead and feel your buttocks, bones, root down, and anything else that you have in contact with the floor. And in yoga, we sometimes talk about the root to rise principle, right? If you don't root down and you're just kind of sitting, you're probably going to kind of end up slumped and slouched and, just downward motion towards the ground. Whereas if you root anything that you have in contact with the earth down, chances are great that's going to allow you to rise up out of that. So let the rest of the spine rise tall, crown of the head gently reaching towards the sky. And bring your awareness into your eyes. So your eyelids are closed or mostly closed. We're trying to take visual stimulation out of the mix. And then even though your eyes are closed, imagine that you were just gazing off into space. I always kind of think of it as when I'm daydreaming, right? I have a really soft focus. I'm not taking in details of anything around me. And then once you feel your gaze soften, the muscles around the eyes soften. Imagine the corners of the eyes turning up into a smile. And remember, anytime I say imagine, it's literally that. You're not trying to make your eyes smile or to actually turn up the corners of the eyes. You're just imagining as if you could. Bring the awareness to the inside of the mouth. Get a felt sense of everything in there. Teeth, gums, roof of the mouth, part of the mouth under the tongue, the jaw, lips, cheeks. Soften if there's tension, particularly in the tongue and the jaw. And even here, imagine that the corner of your mouth is turning up into a smile. I have an awful lot of yawns while I'm filming this morning. I apologize about that. And if you haven't noticed, great. Bring your awareness to the collarbones. Those are those two bones that kind of protrude on the front top part of the chest. Get a felt sense of that area of the chest, your skin, but also anything you feel inside your body. If there's tension on the top of that neck to shoulder line, let that soften as well. Again, as if you could imagine that the corners of your collarbones turn up into a smile. Bring your awareness down into your belly. And again, just get a felt sense of the area. What can you sense? What do you feel? The waistband against the body, or whatever, pants, or maybe you don't have any pants on and you're not feeling that waistband. Or is there fabric? Is there air? Is there pressure? Is there temperature? Is there tension? And if the answer to that one is yes, try to soften the tension. No expectation and just accepting whatever happens. I have shared there are times I ask muscles to soften, and they have a really hard time doing that. But getting upset about that, right? Judging it, that's just going to make me more tense. And imagine the corners of your stomach turning up into a smile. Now bring your awareness to that area right between the eyebrows. And you can even, depending on how it feels in your body, you have choices, you have autonomy, right? But an invitation is to turn your eyes a little upward and inward as if your eyes are actually looking at that spot between your eyebrows. Don't harden the eyes to do that. Still try to have that soft gaze. And if you're like, nope, not for me, so go back to where you were. And just take a few moments with your awareness right there. So many things I could say about this area in the world of the chakras. Ajna Chakra, or your third eye energy center. Command center. Front part of the brain, right behind where your awareness is where the prefrontal cortex lives, which is where we do all of our executive functioning from. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about emotions and how we can try to sit with them and sense them and feel the sensations they bring into the body. Because if we let the emotions take over, we lose executive function. Right? Just go to what Tara Brach calls the limbic controller. I really like that phrase. So just bringing your awareness in between the eyebrows and maybe just taking a few moments to, I like to talk to my body, right? Just to talk to that part of the body. Thank you for all that you do. This is where kindness, compassion, right? So many different things where we can find that, especially when we're in tight spots. So thinking that area of the body, seeing if it needs any support, you could ask. And this is also the center of intuition, discernment, perspective. So maybe if there are any big questions that you have, you could ask while you were here and just sit with that without expecting an answer. Just bring the question up and trust that in asking the question to this deep part of ourselves, the answers will come. If you're feeling really negative about somebody or a situation, maybe you pause in this area, right? And see if there's a way you can shift your perspective so that there's not so much negativity around that person, that situation. Or maybe you just listen really deeply to that intuition to find out if there's anything you could do today, right now, today, in order to support that. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale. With your exhale, gently bow your head in, taking just a moment of gratitude while you're here. Part of the reason I chose to just bring us into the smiles, right, in the beginning, in the meditation, was because for some of us, I think this is a rough period, this spring weather that's inconsistent and all over and brings really a lot of gray days, and we're not quite in the sunshine yet, etc. So maybe, just maybe, the smiles help you feel a little lighter. Let's say. Namaste. May you be well, friends. May everybody everywhere be well, no exceptions.